Hey, I just had the chance to evaluate and assess MCP connector, which is really cool. And I wanted to know if I can combine this with our MuleSoft AI Chain project. So I built a simple demo. You have seen a similar demo in the past. So it's using the inference connector and the MCP connector instead of our tooling capability. Actually, in the inference connector, we don't have this tools JSON. We have another one which we are using here, the native template. So it's a simple agent which can answer questions for me based on its knowledge, or it make use of the MCP connector. So on the MCP side, I build a server configuration hosting two tools, inventory and CRM accounts. The inventory accepts a product ID to get me the actual inventory from SAP, and the CRM accounts API is a mock of 100 accounts, which I can filter based on the inference or AI communication. So let's see it in action, how I'm using it. So let's say, what is the capital of Switzerland? And it is Bern. You can see tools are not used. So if I go with check inventory for mule test 0, and you can see it will call out tools and will list me the ECC inventory for this specific product. And I have to say, this is much faster than the traditional approach that we had in the Mac connector, in the MuleSoft AI Chain connector, with the tools config. Now, with the native template approach of the inference connector, we are much faster together, of course, with the MCP client and server components here. So let's do a different query for the same call out to get inventory. Show product availability for 400-110. And this is also something where the LLM is reasoning much faster based on the tool template, and returns me quite in a reasonable time frame the response to the query. And I can also go for a larger query and say, yeah, I get hundreds of records, but I would like to filter it for a certain attribute. So I can say get all accounts, CRM accounts for city Demoville. So it will get all the hundreds, and the LLM will do the filtering. That's why it takes a little longer. So I think MCP is now finished with the call out, and now the LLM is filtering out and showing you the different accounts. I have a rendering issue. City should be Demoville, but it's not listed here. But anyways, you get the picture. And let me show you now in any point what I did. So in any point, it's pretty simple. I have three flows. In the first two flows, I'm using the server configuration to make tools available. Yeah, so these are the tools, including the call out. Both are deployed on the Anypoint platform. The first one is the inventory for the SAP. The second one is the CRM accounts. And I have a main flow which I am using. First of all, I save the user's query whenever the web browser calls this endpoint. Then I list all the tools. So these two tools will be listed. And there is a response formatted by the MCP client. So what I make sure, I transform this response into the native tools template of the LLMs, supported by the inference connector, but that's the native standard template for LLMs. And then we go in and get the response here. And if I detect that there is a tool usage, then I call the tool, get the response, format, and reply to the user. If there is no tool usage, it goes here and just reply with the response. And that's basically how I did it. In the configuration side, you can see I have four configuration. One is for HTTP. It's also something where I had to configure HTTPS with TLS, because this will be used also for the MCP client and server. So on the MCP server side, you can see I have configured the HTTPS listener, and here in the MCP client side, I am also contacting this server, but also providing the handshake with the TLS. So that's done here. And the inference connector is basically standard, nothing special about that one. So that's basically what I was able to build within 3 hours, because I had to explore the MCP connector and how it works. But the result came out really well.